Welcome to the TNT Boys podcast. I'm Kale. This is Sam. Just another day, another dollar. Well, I'm not making any dollar out of this, but just another day. You know, doing a podcast, recording, talking about sports or whatever else. Sam,
how's it going, everyone?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How's it going, everyone? Glad to be back here with Kale in the bombshell and recording another TNT Boys episode. Got some, NFL updates, some free agency trade updates again this week, as well as talking about, obviously, Nebraska Cornhuskers and March Madness and some of the crazy upsets we saw in the first round of the tournament and whatever else comes to mind, fill in the gaps. Kale is 2 weeks into his fitness journey now, and he hates me right now. I'll say that. He's not very happy with me, but it's for good reasons. So
my legs hurt.
Kale, anything you would like to add?
Not really. All I got to say is my legs hurt. Last 3 days we did legs on Thursday, and
yeah,
it's been a bitch.
His first leg day since coming back into it, and he did really good. He hung in there with me, but obviously the DOMS is taking effect. So, but Kale, anything you wanna talk about before I'll just start getting into? I mean, we can start with NFL and just go from there.
Not really.
All right. Not really. Not really, partner. All right, we'll get into NFL updates and free agency. Again, I'll kind of do it the same way I did it last week, starting in the AFC, going through the divisions, and then NFC going through the divisions, starting in the AFC East. The Miami Dolphins traded wide receiver Jaylen Waddle to the Denver Broncos. So that one came as kind of a shock to me because they just signed Malik Willis. And obviously they cut, Tyreek Hill, they cut Tua, they did, all that stuff. Darren Waller, I checked, is no longer there. So he must have did like a 1 year type of thing with them. But I was a little shocked because, you're leaving Malik Willis with no weapons, essentially. Like, yeah, they have Devon Achane, who's an underrated running back. He's definitely their number one offensive weapon at this point. But there's no receivers there. No really, elite talent, proven guys at wide receiver. And for a young quarterback like Malik Willis getting his first legit starting opportunity, I feel like they're almost setting him up for failure. Like he's just going to be a bridge quarterback, like they're tanking to try to draft Arch Manning or someone special next year. And I don't like it. I think Malik Willis deserves a shot to be the long-term guy somewhere. I think he's young enough. I think he's talented enough, certainly. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they got some guys they believe in there. But yeah, right now
a lot of people are questioning why did they even give up first-round picks for Waddle.
Well, I mean, you look at their current depth chart of receivers right now. It's Malik Washington, and they did get Jalen Tolbert, who was with the Cowboys the past few years, and they got Tutu Atwell, who's been spending most of his career with the Rams. Atwell's got wheels, man. He can run. He's fast. I know Tolbert, as he's been a good slot receiver for the Cowboys. I don't know a whole lot about Malik Washington. Maybe they're thinking he can develop into a solid number one. I don't know. They have Greg Dulcich at tight end right now. Again, Darren Waller's no longer there. Maybe they try to bring him back. I don't know. But really, the only proven solid piece they have from an offensive skill position standpoint is Devon Achane at running back. And, we'll see what they can do. You got a quarterback, the dual threat ability like Malik Willis, and, a fast, explosive running back like Achane. Maybe they change up the offense. You can run some read option there, some speed option. You can do some stuff there with a fast running back and a mobile quarterback. But That's really all I got to talk about the Jaylen Waddle. I guess, and then, Jaylen, the other side of it, Jaylen Waddle going to the Broncos.
It'll help Bo Nix out. So, I mean,
it adds another receiver to that Broncos room where you got Cortland Sutton, who's kind of the veteran leader of that group. And you got other guys like, Troy Franklin, who is Bo Nix's teammate. I think, do they still have, I'm going to check here. They still have Evan Ingram at tight end. Marvin Mims, Lil Jordan Humphrey. But Jaylen Waddle adds some explosiveness and some speed to that receiver room. And I think, obviously it'll, like you said, it'll help Bo Nix. And it'll help their offense, I think, be a little more explosive next year, which is something they might have lacked a little bit. You've got to think about it, too. They got both their running backs from last year, J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, coming back from last year. So we'll see. I mean, this is a team that was one game away from the Super Bowl. So adding a receiver like Waddle to the offense that was already fairly productive but just lacked some of that explosiveness, big playability, could be dangerous next year. So that's all I've really got on the Waddle trade. I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that, Kale?
All I know is it was out of nowhere. I just know that the
I kind of felt like it was too, just because I'm like, okay, they got Malik Willis, they still have Jaylen Waddle. How are they going to build this offense around these two? And obviously Devon Achane, but now they trade Waddle, so it makes you think they're going into a full rebuild. And maybe they stick with Willis through it all. Like maybe they do a full rebuild this year and they tank. And they have a high draft pick next year, but they don't take a quarterback, and they stick with Malik Willis. But I just don't see that being realistic, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think there's really a number one just yet in Denver. I think they're going to see in the offseason and whatever
That's
else.
true. Right now, yeah. I mean, Cortland Sutton is the...
Would you consider Dolphins in a rebuild mode right now?
I think so, yeah. With what they've been doing, I mean, it seems like they're just clearing shot,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they've moved on from Tua. They're moving on from Tyreek Hill, and now they're trading Waddle. I mean, those three guys were the Dolphins' offense the past however many years, like the past 4 seasons, and then obviously Achane's really the only piece left of that, and it'll be interesting to see. I think Achane will actually work better though with a quarterback like Malik Willis than he did with Tua. Just because Malik is more athletic and a better runner than Tua. So,
did you know with them doing all that? They're considered the youngest roster in NFL right now, the Dolphins.
I think I saw that somewhere. I think I heard about that.
So it'll be Dolphins, and then I got the list right here. It'll be Dolphins, the Packers, Jets, Lions, Chiefs, Titans, Browns.
I'm not surprised my Packers are on there.
Yeah, you guys are a young team. So I mean,
we've been the youngest team in the league since 2023.
Yeah, so
crazy.
Lions, so.
We need some. I feel like we need some veteran leadership on that team. But anything else on the Waddle trade?
No,
Dolphins Broncos related.
Like I said, it was left field out of nowhere that day at work, and I was like, ooh.
Yep. All right, we'll move on to the next thing I had here. Still in the AFC East. Well, funny, it's another AFC East, AFC West trade. The Jets traded quarterback Justin Field to the Chiefs.
That was also kind of out of nowhere, too.
Not really, though. I mean, I could have seen it coming.
No, I mean, like it was out of nowhere because we were just talking about how he could compete for the job.
That's true. That is true. We were saying how he was, they could have potentially had a 3-way quarterback competition with him, Geno, and Brady Cook. But I think Fields going to a team like the Chiefs makes sense.
I mean, they don't have Minshew anymore, so he went somewhere else, and
he went to Arizona.
He needed another backup quarterback because I don't remember who their third string is, but that would definitely help him.
So
they'll help him as well grow with Patrick Mahomes, as Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback right now in NFL, obviously. So
I think Fields going to the Chiefs, like you said, it's going to help him grow and develop And it makes sense because, like you said, Gardner Minshew, he left. He's going to be in Arizona. There's a chance Mahomes isn't available to start the season, coming back from his ACL tear. So you need a guy that you can kind of trust to go in there with some experience. And, I mean, Andy Reid, he's the quarterback. He's one of the quarterback whisperers of the NFL. And he knows how to get the most out of a quarterback. And maybe this is exactly what Justin Fields needed. You know, I know we've been saying that about him for his whole career, you know, starting with the Bears and going to the Steelers, actually playing fairly well for the Steelers until Russell Wilson came back from his injury. And then, you know, last year with the Jets left a lot to be desired, but it's the Jets. So now he's on the Chiefs. You know, you could see him starting a few games to start the year if Mahomes isn't ready. But even when Mahomes comes back and healthy, Fields is a guy that has athletic abilities that Mahomes doesn't have. And they could see him, you know, I could see them using him as like a gadget guy for certain plays, certain formations.
Situations.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Interesting signing, but not a surprising signing. I think, obviously, it makes sense the Jets to move off of Fields after last year didn't work out. And for the Chiefs, I mean, it makes sense. They need a backup. Their third string, by the way, is Chris Oladipoon. And he started a couple games last year, and it did not go well. So we'll move on from that unless you have anything to add for Jets-Chiefs.
The Chiefs didn't really have, a bad off-season so far with the trading and everything.
Yeah, obviously Pacheco left and went to Detroit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've brought in Kenneth Walker. I still think they need some help at wide receiver. They brought Travis Kelce back on a 1-year deal.
And you also got to remember they don't have Hollywood Brown anymore, so.
But they also don't have their top two corners anymore. They're both on the Rams, and they don't have Hollywood Brown anymore.
But didn't they sign another top cornerback I saw?
I did not see that. They might have.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But I don't know. They could be rebuilding this year. Who knows? But we'll move on. We'll go to the Steelers. Really, with just the Steelers, I just have that there's still no update on Aaron Rodgers. And honestly, we probably won't get one for a while. He kind of just goes off and does his own thing in the offseason at this point and, you know, lives on his own terms and really isn't on anyone's schedule. But I don't know. If I were a betting man, I would bet that he comes back for one more year. Just with what the Steelers have done so far in free agency, bringing in guys like Michael Pittman, Rico Dowdle in the backfield. They're getting more weapons in that offense. Plus, it's his old coach and Mike McCarthy he won a Super Bowl with. So the stars are kind of aligning for him to come back. I think you give Will Howard one more year, backing up Rodgers. I think, and then...
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. God damn it,
Sorry,
dude.
sorry, we got sidetracked with the picture real quick.
This picture, what the fuck? It's the Aqua Teen Hunger Force as King of the Hill characters. Fry Man is Hank Hill. Shake is Peggy Hill.
Shake is... and then Bob's like, eh.
And Meatwad is Bobby. And Carl's anyone?
Bill.
Carl's Bill Dotrieve.
Sorry. Continue. I should have done that.
No, it's fine. No, but I was saying with the Steelers, I think, yeah, you know, if Rodgers comes back, they got a young guy in Will Howard that they like, that has been proactively trying to learn from Rodgers like he did last year, the whole season, according to Rodgers himself. And I think if Rodgers comes back, you make Will Howard the second string, and either cut Mason Rudolph or make him the third string. Because if you keep Mason as that second string with Rodgers, you know, I think that won't be great for Will Howard's development. I think you give Will Howard the 2 reps. And if Rodgers retires or doesn't come back to Pittsburgh, I think you ride with Will Howard and see what you got.
Will Howard's not a bad quarterback.
Or you start the year with Rudolph, and then eventually make the switch to Will Howard.
Will Howard's not a bad quarterback. He just needs a better chance.
That's the thing, and I think he can succeed in a place like Pittsburgh. He's a big dude. He's a big quarterback. I'm gonna look up his numbers right now, but he's a big quarterback. Who is another big quarterback who had a long career in Pittsburgh? Big Ben.
Yes.
And Will Howard is 6'4", 236. So he's not quite as bulky as Big Ben, but he's the right size, I think, for a quarterback to succeed long term in Pittsburgh. You need a big athletic quarterback with a strong arm to really do well, for these cold weather teams, honestly. Like, you think about these cold weather teams and the greatest quarterbacks they've had in their team's history. They're usually big, strong dudes who can launch that thing. I mean, look at Buffalo. You got Josh Allen. Green Bay has had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Pittsburgh, Big Ben.
Oops. Sorry.
You see these teams, these cold weather teams. Chicago, unfortunately, now they have Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So I think they really view him as a quarterback of the future there in Pittsburgh, but we'll move on unless you have anything to add.
No, I'm just curious what Aaron Rodgers is going to do because, I just not a fan of people taking this long to decide, but it is what it is. Can't really do anything about it. It's just, I don't know. I just hate the holding out.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, to me, too, if I was the Steelers, like, if you don't want to wait, then just move on, Because Aaron Rodgers, we all know he's going to do his thing. Like, that's just Aaron Rodgers at this point. And he's 42, 43 years old, whatever. Like, he's going to beat to the tune of his own drum, pretty much. So, if they don't want to wait, then just tell him and move on with Will Howard. Keep Mason Rudolph as a veteran backup.
Mason Rudolph sucks.
He does suck. But, I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, well, it just, it depends how Will Howard also does and whatnot.
I think you just roll with Will Howard and see what you got.
Yeah.
See what you got in Will Howard.
Will Howard was good at Ohio State, and he was good at Kansas State.
And you keep Mason Rudolph as a backup. I'm not saying he's good, but you got to have a backup. I mean, unless they go get someone else. But Mason Rudolph has been in Pittsburgh like almost his whole career, except for 1 year. I think he went to the Titans, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I really had in the AFC North. We'll go to the AFC South. All I really got there is the Jaguars. And this is just rumors. I've heard rumors of them possibly wanting to trade wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
So this is something actually my buddy Keith told me. So I don't know how much legitimacy there is to it, but I think that would be very stupid of the Jaguars to do because Trevor Lawrence just had a great year. His second, possibly his best season of his career so far.
Oh my God, you're making Jarrett cream in his pants when you hear him say that.
Oh my gosh.
He's the biggest Jaguar. He's like, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, I
Let's
haven't
see
really.
here. I'm gonna look here. Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know if that's really true or not, Sam. I don't think
So. Yeah,
true.
you could say arguably the best season of his career, maybe second best season of his career this past season, because he was pretty good in 2022 as well. What the other year they made the playoffs, but I don't know why you would screw up that development by getting rid of his number one wide receiver.
The Jaguars did sign Jake Bobo to an offer sheet, so I mean,
yeah. Well, then they got let's see here. I know they talked about moving Travis Hunter to primarily defense this season. I don't know. I mean, you knew he was primarily offense his rookie year and played a little bit of defense, but it looks like he's going to be starting defense this season and then secondary on offense, probably like a package here or there on offense, which kind of makes them look stupid looking back because they spent a top 5 draft pick on a corner essentially, which that's a little.
And then they're also
that's a little steep.
They're losing TJ, their running back Etienne. Yeah,
they lost Travis Etienne to the Saints, but they like that the other guy Bashul Tutin.
Yeah,
he carried the rock quite a bit late in the year last year. It looks like he's going to be the starter this upcoming season. And I didn't know this. They also have Jacoby Myers now.
I thought he was out of the league for years.
Jacoby Myers, he was with the Raiders for a few years. That's the last I knew. And then before that, he was actually with the Patriots. But yeah, he's actually listed as a starting receiver for the Jaguars. And then they also have Parker Washington, who they really like. He came on strong towards the end of last season. But I think it would just be stupid for the development of Trevor Lawrence to trade Brian Thomas Jr., your number 1 wide receiver. But that's all I've really got for the Jaguars and the AFC South as a whole. AFC West, other than those trades with the Broncos and the Chiefs, I really don't have much from the Raiders or the Chargers. Do you?
I didn't really see much. I just know that the Raiders are. There's something I thought I read last night. There's something going on with their ownership or something where they're going to have to try to approve somebody, the majority owner, and I don't think Al Davis is going to do it. Or not Al Davis, his son. I can't remember his name.
Mark
Davis, yeah.
So we'll move on to the NFC then. NFC East.
They also did no, I'm thinking someone else. That was the 49ers. Ignore me. Christian Kirk.
Yep. I was going to get to that eventually. But NFC East, I didn't really have much. Cowboys, Giants, but Eagles did sign wide receiver Hollywood Brown. So he joins an offense that was really productive a couple seasons ago. But with that, there's also still rumors of them wanting to trade wide receiver A.J. Brown. So those rumors continue. We'll see if he stays or if he goes. There are some wide receiver needy teams in the league that could use a guy like A.J. Brown. But with that, you get the diva aspect. You get the attitude problems. Because let's not act like it's not a problem. He is a diva.
Yeah.
Similar to a guy like Stephon Diggs.
Which hasn't been signed by anyone.
But imagine if, I don't know. He's got some other fish to fry too right now, but say they keep A.J. Brown. You got a receiving core with him, Devontae Smith, and Hollywood Brown. You still got Goedert at tight end, Dallas Goedert. And then you still have Saquon in the backfield. And they have some other pretty good running backs there in Philly. I know they have I know last year they got Tank Bigsby in a trade from the Jaguars, who I thought the Jaguars were high on. But yeah, they still have Tank Bigsby and Will Shipley. Yeah, so they could have a very productive offense next season. There's another quarterback they brought in for a trade, but I'll get to that later. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the Eagles and the NFC East. Anything for you?
No, I don't have anything else. I just know that I saw Hollywood Brown was saying something about the culture in Philly or something already and how toxic it is. But
Hollywood Brown, really?
No, yeah.
They just signed him.
I didn't read the whole article. I just saw.
Might be talking about how crazy the fans can get.
Yeah.
NFC North, I didn't have anything from any of the teams. Do you have any Lions updates?
We signed Greg Dodich today, so he's reuniting with his OC from Arizona.
Greg Dodich? What
Yeah,
position?
Megamind. I call him Megamind.
What position is he?
Receiver.
Greg Dodich.
So this is basically a good little deal for him because now he could actually prove that he deserves to be here, which a lot of people's, he's been okay.
Greg Dortch.
Greg Dortch, yes.
Yeah, because he was with the Cardinals before, wasn't he?
Yes. I think he was up there.
Yeah, he was in the rotation there, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really have any updates from Green Bay. They've kind of been laying low. Other than the Javon Hargrave signing, there really hasn't been much there. So we'll move on. NFC South. This is actually the other Eagles thing I had to mention was the Panthers traded quarterback Andy Dalton to the Eagles. And interestingly, I kind of am not surprised because they did sign Kenny Pickett earlier this offseason to be the backup to Bryce Young, I'm assuming. He's certainly not going to start over Bryce Young. Not that I'm huge on Bryce Young. We all know that, but he's a lot better than Kenny Pickett.
He had a better year last year, though.
But what's funny is Bryce Young?
Yeah.
He did. He's been improving each season, but I don't know. Still not it for me. But interestingly enough, the Eagles, obviously, they brought in Andy Dalton. You go to their depth chart, he's the third string. So obviously, we all know Jalen Hurts is their starter. He's gonna be there. He's their guy. But they have that youngster Tanner McKee is still listed as a second string. He was their second string last year, and they like him. And I've heard he's actually pretty good.
I bet you they brought in Andy Dalton to help mentor stuff because he's been around for so long.
So they drafted him out of Stanford in 2023, round 6, as obviously a developmental guy. But they like him, and you're right. I think they probably brought in Andy Dalton as just like a veteran mentor, emergency quarterback. I don't think he was brought in to be the primary backup to Jalen Hurts. But I don't know. It's just interesting because, me and you both grew up watching Andy Dalton throughout the 2010s on the Bengals. He had some really good years in Cincinnati. Him and A.J. Green and those offenses. They never won any playoff games, but they had some good teams. And, then he's kind of bounced around since then, being a backup in Dallas, Chicago, New Orleans, and then Carolina. So this is his, fifth stop since leaving Cincinnati. But it looks like his days as a spot starter and primary backup might be over unless they're going to have him compete with that kid Tanner McKee for the primary backup role in training camp. That could also be very likely. Moving on to the Saints. All I really wanted to note with them is we're still waiting to hear what's going to happen to running back Alvin Kamara because obviously they brought in Travis Etienne.
Is he holding out or is he just?
Well, they brought in Etienne, and I don't know if
I thought I heard his contract is up. I don't. Remember.
Checking here. Oh, he's still on the roster, so he's still.
So he must have a year or two left on his contract.
So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't think they're going to be trying to rework his contract if they brought in Etienne, who's a similar back, similar style, but I think Etienne's a little bigger. Etienne's 215 pounds at 5'10". Kamara, I want to say he's a little smaller. No, they're about the same size. They're exactly the same size, 5'10", 215. But Kamara is he's a great receiver out of the backfield. That's what he's been known for throughout his career. And Etienne, similar situation. When they brought him in to rookie camp when, the Jaguars drafted him back in 2021, I think. They were legit having him take almost all of his reps as a wide receiver. So it's just interesting. But I don't know. We're just still waiting to hear. I mean, imagine they can get something worked out with Kamara. Then you got him and ETN in the same backfield.
You're gonna have like a Ben Johnson kind of two backs that like we did a few years ago.
The only difference is you have two similar style running backs, whereas with Ben Johnson, you have two different style running backs. You have a inside strong power guy and a shifty elusive guy. ETN and Kamara are really similar in their play styles. But anyway, we'll go on to the NFC West. 49ers signed wide receiver Christian Kirk, which obviously
that's what I was going to say earlier, but I got mixed up
earlier. Which I think, I mean, they obviously they brought in Mike Evans last week or 2 weeks ago. When it first started.
I believe 49ers are going to be pretty good next year.
But it looks like they lost Jawan Jennings. Like he's a free agent probably still.
Yeah.
So they needed, and obviously who knows what's going on with Ayuk. So they brought in Mike Evans. And then I see it this way. Him and Ricky Pearsall are going to run the outside.
Right.
And they're going to run Christian Kirk in the slot. And I think that's the best case scenario there. Obviously, you still got Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk. So they're sitting pretty good there. I think they're going to have a pretty good offense. Again, Mac Jones, I don't know if they're looking to trade him or not to a quarterback-needy team. So we'll see. I guess I'll allude to this real quick with my Packers. I totally forgot we signed Desmond Ridder. He'll probably be our backup next year.
I didn't even know you guys did.
No, I knew we did. I just didn't remember. But it looks like he'll probably be our backup next year unless we try to bring in someone better. Adrian Martinez is still on the 49ers. Right now he's listed as a fourth string.
He'll probably get cut.
Probably. And then the only thing I had left for NFL was Seattle. I heard that they re-signed wide receiver Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, Shaheed.
Try that again.
Nope. That was my one time.
So, yeah, and they also, it looks like they brought in Emmanuel Wilson at running back, who was our backup running back on the Packers. He's going to back up Zach Charbonnet in Seattle.
That's what's up.
So, I don't know. We could use some help at running back, but I'm getting off track a little bit, focusing on the Packers. That's all I've got for NFL updates. I don't know, Cale, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, actually I do. I don't know if you heard this, but so Adam Scheffler the other day, I screenshot this so I can remember. I need to write this stuff down, but I just...
Adam Scheffler, yeah.
Colts signed Notre Dame basketball forward Trent Tout with the idea of converting him to
Did they actually do that?
Yes.
Dude, I thought that was a meme.
No, that's a real thing.
I thought that was fake.
Nope.
I saw that. I thought it was fake.
Nope. Real. I screenshot on Tuesday.
No fucking way.
He,
No way, dude.
Carlson
Colts?
Yeah, so he was a forward on the basketball team at Notre Dame in Northern Arizona. He started 151 of 154 games, or career games, averaged 9 points per game, 8.8 rebounds per game. So that's all right for what he did, but I guess
Carson Tout.
Tout finished his career with 1,383 points, 1,357 rebounds, 420 assists, 105 steals, and 56 blocks. So, if he can catch, cool, but I think he'd be a pretty decent pass tight end, like a blocking tight end.
Well, I think with him
How tall is he?
I think he's 6'8", 250.
That ain't bad.
Which, I don't know. I mean, with him being a basketball guy, I don't know if he's going to have the aggression.
I just want to say, that's a rare tight end in NCAA if we ever played that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I think with his basketball background, I don't know if he's going to have the aggression to be like an elite blocker.
Right.
Usually basketball players that are converted to tight end, you bring them on because you're going to be throwing them the ball. They're going to be able to go up and get it. Mm-hmm. And I think to start, I think what they would use him as is more of a red zone target. Big target down near the end zone, throw it up for grabs. Throw it high for him. It's big 6'8" frame. Interesting pickup for Indianapolis. I legit thought that was a meme. But they have a good starting tight end in Tyler Warren. And then they have the veteran they've had there for a while, Mo Ali Cox, who's also been ran kind of as a H-back, fullback for them as well. And Tyler Warren, he's 6'6", 256, so he's also a big dude. And Cox is 6'5", 267. So he's big. Like, he's not as tall as those guys, but he's just thicker, like, bigger dude.
Right.
He's more your blocking tight end. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Anything else?
I got one thing about college football, if you have anything else for that, but
go for it.
So the other day, former USC star quarterback and Heisman winner Matt Leinart says he has denied the school's request to unretire number 11 to recruit 5-star recruits. He has said there has been multiple times where people at USC has asked me if I would unretire my jersey for some 5-star prospect, and do you want to know what I told these guys straight up? I said, absolutely fucking not. I am never going to unretire my jersey for some random dude who, by the way, now could wear number 11 and transfer after a year, Leinart said. The only person that will wear my USC number 11 jersey would be Cole Leinart, which is his son.
Right.
Who's there, not right now. Who's not there right now. He's at SMU, which I didn't know that. Or two of my boys, if they end up going to USC and playing football. That's it. When asked if a big NIL offer would change his stance, Leinart said, absolutely not. Would never do it. It's not for sale. I like that. He said that via Throwback.
I was going to ask, how do you feel about that?
I like that.
Me too.
I like that a lot because that's someone putting their foot down on the NIL. And,
Well, and it's also just, they retired his number. Like, they did it for a reason. Like, he doesn't have to be like, oh, yeah, that's fine, unretire it. Like, now, if it was someone that, like, if it was a dude, like a guy that is going to go in there and be a stud,
right?
I might consider it if I were him. But if it's someone who's just like a Joe Schmo,
I don't think he would either way.
I don't think he would. I'm just talking like my perspective.
Right.
But I don't know. It's interesting. It's, because some players do it, But
he has a point. Why would I give it to somebody who's a 1-year fucking player?
Well, think of other players. Like, think like in the NFL. Like, it would just look wrong for someone else like to come into Green Bay and wear number 4 or number 12. You know what I mean? Think of other athlete legends that have had their number retired by their teams.
My thing is
think of someone else wearing that jersey number. It wouldn't look right, and it would feel
or
disrespectful.
It doesn't matter which position too. Like, look at say Donald Driver's number is retired, right?
No, it's not.
Well, if it was, would you want someone to be a Joe Schmo wearing it and then be trash?
I thought his number should have been retired, but they never.
Eventually, it will be.
And like it, honestly, at first, like, Clay Matthews, his number never got retired.
Not yet.
And I remember when they brought in Rashawn Gary, they gave him Clay Matthews' jersey number. And it looked wrong.
The way I say it, or way I'm going to say it, is they'll retire that number. They'll retire Clay Matthews with that number before Rashawn Gary with that number.
Think about, well, yeah, of course.
I know. I'm just saying.
Gary,
some people might debate that, though.
No one's going to debate.
You never know. I'm just going to leave it as is. There's going to be some people.
Who do you know that's going to debate that Rashawn Gary had a bigger impact than Clay Matthews?
I'm just saying random people. It doesn't speak people I know.
I mean, people who don't know anything about football, maybe.
Okay, you're not getting what I'm trying to say, but anyway.
What are you trying to say? I want to hear it.
I don't want to say it.
Go for it. I want to hear it.
No.
Please.
No, I don't want to say it on the mic.
Oh, my gosh.
But some people have certain opinions about certain
Daniel?
people. No.
You sure?
Yes.
I could see Daniel trying to argue that for sure.
Okay, yeah, but
he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know about Packer history or Packer lore. He would argue just to argue.
Yeah. But
Daniel, if you're listening, maybe you wouldn't, maybe you would.
But I was gonna say is
don't get stressed out, man.
No, I'm just trying to remember what I was gonna say. It had to do with the retiring number, and I lost it. No, like I said, I do agree with the whole transfer 1 year, go through that work, and then he's gone. You know,
yeah.
Little thing about the NIL, I'm just gonna be blatantly say it. I do like how they're actually trying to make a sports committee and actually step in and doing something about it, because the NCAA ain't fucking doing shit about it.
No.
They're just encouraging it and making it worse.
Yeah. Well, because it's a moneymaker for them.
And I love how Nick Saban and some of these old coaches and players are standing into that committee and doing it.
Yeah.
Nick Saban's going to get something done.
There needs to be a committee, there is a college football. Well, that's different, though, I guess. But there needs to be a committee or some sort of general manager to kind of regulate some of it. But we've sat on here and bitched about NIL many times in the past.
Yeah.
Let's go and move on. We got some March Madness stuff going on. I know we don't normally talk about basketball, but March Madness is a big thing. And when it comes to me anyway, when it comes to basketball, I thoroughly enjoy college basketball a lot more than NBA. I don't really watch NBA, and be completely honest with you. But we'll just get into it. Obviously, we're going to start with Nebraska. The Nebraska men got their first ever NCAA tournament win with a near 30-point blowout victory against Troy. Their next game is this evening against Vanderbilt at 7:45 this evening, Saturday night, as we record this. So
there's probably a lot of parties and stuff going on. I'm sure.
100%. I'm sure Lincoln would be lit up.
I'm sure Zach might be doing something, but I didn't ask him when I talked to him yesterday.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
I'll be shocked if he wasn't, to be honest with you.
But obviously, that game was on a Thursday afternoon, late Thursday morning into the early afternoon. Obviously, me and you were both at work, so neither of us got to watch it, but heard about it. Great thing. You know, Nebraska history, and it's awesome. Nebraska women,
they pissed it down their leg. I was listening on the way back when
they won their first 4-round game against Richmond, but then lost in the first round of the actual tournament to Baylor by 5 points. So I didn't listen to that one, but you said they pissed it down their leg.
Yeah, I listened on the radio on the way back from my route, from my work. They kept fouling out. They had 4 women foul out. There were some controversial calls. The refs seemed like they didn't really, I don't know. The refs seemed like they were doing ref-like things, zebra-like things. And then they had a review of a play, and it was just a simple review that turned into a flagrant foul on one of our people, and then got her last 2 technical fouls, and she was out for the rest of the game. It really hurt us. But I do want to say, I think, I didn't watch a whole lot of women's. I kind of kept in there this year, but I think we're going to be a good basketball team next year. I think Amy Williams is a really good coach. Coming from South Dakota, she was really good at South Dakota when they had their little run in the NCAA tournament. She actually, I think if I remember too, she coached. I think she coached and recruited Mr. Bradley's daughter, JC.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she transferred to TCU, but she was. I think she could have made the WNBA. Little hot take on that. But in the men's, I really hope Nebraska does well against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was a good team. They beat McNeese State by 10 points. But the only thing is, if we win, and then this is kind of funny. Think about this. So if we win out of Vanderbilt, then we'd have to play either in Florida or Iowa. Florida's really good. They beat Prairie View 114-55, and then they're going to play Iowa this game. And then imagine
You're talking us?
Go up. No, you passed it. Out of that 2 games, someone's going to go to the Sweet 16.
If we beat Vanderbilt.
If we beat Vanderbilt, we're going to go to
okay, yeah.
Yep, we'll go our first Sweet 16, and then we'll play Florida. Florida's good, but kind of funny.
Florida or Iowa.
Yeah, and then if we lose to Iowa, which I hope we don't, and I don't think we will, you're going to hear the Iowa fans go, "We own you guys."
Well, you're gonna hear them say "fuck Nebraska" like they always
fuck
do.
Nebraska. Yeah, Iowa fans.
Anyway,
Florida's really good, like I said. So that would be kind of a hope for the best game, and and then I like how Troy was saying we had a lot of respect for Nebraska. They love our team. A lot of people like how we play. A lot of coaches and stuff. Upset wise, I think Duke barely got out versus Siena.
That's what I was gonna.
TCU upsetted Ohio State. St. John's did not, or won.
I had all my upsets written down here, but you can take the wheel if you want.
Are you sure? I didn't know you had those written down.
Yeah. I had the notes. But yeah, go for it.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
Well, I had that Duke narrowly avoided getting upset by Siena. They only won by 6 points. Ohio State got upset by TCU, barely losing by 2 points. Clemson got narrowly upset by Iowa, losing by 6. UNC got upset by VCU, losing by 4. St. Mary's got upset by Texas A&M, losing by 13. Villanova got upset by Utah State, losing by 10. Wisconsin actually got upset by High Point. They lost by 1.
That game really shocked me. Wisconsin's a really damn good team, and that one really shocked me.
They normally have some big boys on their team.
And then High Point, I just want to make a side note. High Point plays Arkansas, and Arkansas is pretty good too. So
maybe High Point's going to be the Cinderella story of this year.
Maybe.
BYU got upset by Texas, losing by 8, and then the big one here, Georgia got upset by St. Louis. St. Louis, they got blown out by 25 points. So that's all the upsets I saw for the first round of the tournament. And I will say this, if Nebraska ends up making it to the Sweet 16, that'll basically be like the Super Bowl for us. Lincoln's gonna go crazy.
Yep. Robbie's team, Iowa State, kicked the shit out of Tennessee State, and then they play Kentucky, and then
Iowa State's always good. It seems like.
I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think Iowa State's gonna, come out winning on that one. Miami, Ohio lost to Tennessee pretty by like 22 points.
I will say
that was a good thing to see all year, and then kind of sad to see them lose, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had them winning their first game at
ESPN did say there is a 0 winless bracket tournament now.
But if I had to go through the second round games, I would pick Duke over TCU. I'll pick Kansas over St. John's. Louisville and Michigan are playing right now. Michigan State. Michigan State is winning 19-12. I would pick UConn over UCLA. I'll pick Florida over Iowa. I'm going to pick us over Vandy. Illinois over VCU. Houston over Texas A&M. Iowa State over Kentucky. I'm going to take Tennessee over Virginia. Alabama over Texas Tech. Michigan doesn't know who they're going to play yet. Oh, Michigan won their game already. They beat St. Louis. So they've moved on. They will play the winner of the... Let's see. They will play the winner of... Yeah, they'll play the winner of the Texas Tech Alabama game, it looks like. I'll take Purdue over Miami. Gonzaga over Texas, and Arkansas over High Point. Arizona over Utah State. You want to make your picks?
Yeah. Nebraska all the way. No.
Just for this round. Just for this round.
I think, so I'll start up here. I think
the current round.
I would like to see Duke versus Kansas in the Sweet 16, but I feel like I think TCU will pull it off.
Okay.
St. John's is pretty good, so that's another tough one. The Rick Paterno team right there. I'm going to go with St. John's. And then Louisville versus Michigan State.
Playing right now.
Yeah, I see that. I'm going to go with Michigan State on that one. And then UConn, UCLA, I'm going to go with UConn easily. And then on the other side, Arizona is going to win. Arkansas, Texas, and Gonzaga. Yeah, I'm going to go Gonzaga. Purdue. And then down in the south, Florida, Nebraska, Illinois. Yeah, Illinois, and then Houston. And then on the other side, Midwest, I'm going to go with... So I can't pick Michigan because...
Yeah, Michigan is already advanced.
I think it's going to be a close game, Texas A&M versus Alabama, and then think out of that
Texas Tech versus Alabama.
Yeah, sorry. Texas Tech, I think, will win that one. And then you got Virginia and Tennessee. I'm going to go with Tennessee, and then Kentucky versus Iowa State. Iowa State.
Okay.
Ready, break.
Right on, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I like basketball. I've always have. I just, just trying to get back into it a little bit more. And
yeah, I don't pay attention to it nearly as closely as I do football, but I do get into college basketball a little bit. And I think it's fun. March Madness is obviously a fun time. It's also fun right now because the Huskers are good as well, and I'm a huge Nebraska fan, so it's all good. But yeah, that's really for sports wise, that's really all I've got. Kale, anything you'd like to add before we, I guess, wrap this up for today?
Not really.
All right.
Actually, one thing. If we're closing out, I just want to say swearing is caring on April 28th. I think 4 to 8, if I remember. I could be wrong. Don't forget that we'll be there. Everyone on the podcast will be there. I don't know if Daniel's going to be there yet, but
probably not.
Yeah, because he has to work. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he does have to work
because that's a Saturday. We'll figure that out. But yeah, don't forget that we'll be hosting at the District Event Center in Norfolk, Nebraska.
Yep.
4 to 8.
Come on down.
Enjoy some food. Enjoy some food. Donate some money for good causes and
have a couple brewskis.
Yeah. We'll be there.
We'll be having a grand old time.
Yes.
We missed it last year because I had a powerlifting competition, so we'll be there this year.
Yes. Go ahead, Sam.
But anyway, thanks for joining us. It's been a lot of fun chopping it up with you, Kale, over some sports, NFL, college basketball. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out Agent Life Media, Touching Base, Talking Dirt, Useless Assumptions. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.
Peace out. Bye.